Hi everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So today I'm going to be doing a review and demo of the Naturale C2P Stick Cream Foundation, and I have the shade in Porcelain, which is really a perfect shade for me. I'm going to start by telling you and showing you how I applied it. So if any of you have followed me for a while, you know that I don't really use primers. I've never found a primer in conventional beauty or green and eco beauty that has really grabbed me and really made me feel like it actually did something. So I'm not a primer person, so I didn't use a primer before this foundation. I have not used a primer before using this foundation the entire time I've been trying it. Today and for the last couple of days, I have been using the Osea Blemish Balm and Moisturizer before using the foundation, so I did have that on my skin prior to application. The Blemish Balm really acts like a primer better than any primer I've had because it really makes my makeup glide on very easily because it hydrates my face a little bit, but not too much. It doesn't leave my face oily or greasy. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that was on my skin prior to application. I found that the easiest way to apply this foundation is to just take the stick and go directly on my face and apply it directly from the stick, which you can see in the demo. I like to do lines across my face, and then what I do is I take my MOTD Cosmetics Beauty and the Base Brush and use that to blend out my foundation. I don't use a beauty blender or any sort of damp beauty sponge because this foundation isn't that full coverage, and if you use a damp sponge you're going to shear out your coverage even more. So by using a brush, especially like a dense brush, you can get your coverage built up. Though this foundation isn't full coverage, if you do need more coverage in a spot, it is buildable. You can go back and apply more foundation in the spot where you need it and blend it out. One of the things that I really love about this foundation is the shade Porcelain is the perfect shade match for me. I really don't worry about blending it onto my neck that much because, as you can see in the demo, it really matches my skin tone perfectly. Like, I've never had a foundation really ever in my entire life match my skin so perfectly as the Au Naturale Stick Foundation in Porcelain. So just throwing that out there for any of you who are as fair as I am. It really is a fair foundation that's not too pink, it's not too yellow, it's just a really perfect fair foundation shade. Why did I try this? My skin, as I've been moving into fall and winter, has been getting kind of dry, and using a matte foundation was just looking cakey and weird on my skin. And so I was like, Kat, you need to try something that's a little bit more hydrating. And I was scared. I have really oily skin. I'm scared to use any foundation that is not matte. It took a long time for me to build up the courage to try this, but I'm really glad that I have. It walks a fine line between being creamy and hydrating, but not being too creamy and hydrating or too matte. It's just like right perfect in the middle. Though I do have to say, if you do have a dry patch, this can kind of cling to it. If you put the foundation on your skin and let it kind of warm up, you can blend it more easily. If you're just like applying it with a stick and trying to blend it while it's still kind of cold and not warmed up, it will cling to dry patches more easily, but if you let it warm up, it's a lot easier and it blends and kind of smooths everything out a lot easier. I do wish that it was a little bit more full coverage, but what I do is I go in with my Hint Beauty Duet Concealer and spot conceal in the acne spots, and then I go in and I powder with the Alima Pure Satin Matte Foundation. I always set all my foundations, and I think particularly if you do have oily skin, that you should set a cream foundation like this. But once I set it with the Satin Matte Foundation, everything is really locked in place. Like, I was blown away the first time I used this. First, by how amazing my skin looks. Like, I really feel that every time I use this foundation that my skin looks amazing because it's not matte, it is a little bit glowy, and so I don't look over powdered or over matte when I'm wearing it. I saw my mom when I was trying out this foundation, and she is probably my toughest critic when it comes to makeup, but she was impressed by how great my skin looked while I was wearing this foundation. Also, this foundation does play very well with cream and powder products. I tried a number of different cream blushes with this foundation because I'm having a love affair with cream blushes, and they all apply beautifully and blend really easily on top of this foundation. The foundation doesn't pick up and, you know, move away. Also, once you set it and you go in with a powder product, that works beautifully as well. This foundation, once again, it doesn't move away when you're blending out a powder blush or a bronzer. It plays well with both powder and cream products, though I do recommend, if you're going to go in with a powder product, to set your foundation with some sort of either setting powder or a powder foundation before going in with a powder blush or a powder bronzer. When I've done that, it has worked beautifully. Also, I was really nervous because it is more glowy even when I first put it on, that my skin would get really oily throughout the day. My skin does get oily throughout the day, but to be honest, I don't think it's more oily than it is with a matte foundation. Even though it does get oily, what has impressed me about this foundation is it doesn't break up on my skin. If you have oily skin at all, you probably know what I'm talking about. You will look at your skin at the end of the day, and with some foundations, you'll see it kind of blotchy and breaking apart, and you can see your skin underneath. This foundation, my skin does get oily, yes, but my foundation is still there. It's still in place. It doesn't look blotchy and broken apart. So for me, I can deal with my skin getting oily. It's going to get oily no matter what I do. I've reached that conclusion. After 25 years of living with my skin, I know that it is going to get oily. What I ask of my foundation is when my skin does get oily, it doesn't break apart, and this doesn't. And another thing that really impressed me about this foundation is that when it does get oily and I use a blotting paper, this foundation blots so well. I don't know what it is about it, but it really doesn't move around or slide around when I'm blotting it. If I take some blotting papers with me, say I'm at work and I'm going to go out to dinner. If I blot my face in the bathroom at work before I go to dinner, I don't have to worry about having another brush to like blend things out again. I can just blot, my skin gets more matte, the foundation still looks excellent, and I can run out the door. So what I'm saying is, even with oily skin, this foundation is really long wearing on me. Though I do have to say, I'm not sold on whether I would use this foundation during the summer. I only started trying it out this fall, so I don't know if I can wear it during the summer. My skin does get so oily during the summer that I may not actually be able to use this foundation, but I am going to try it out and see. So at least for right now, this is the perfect winter foundation. As of right now, this is my favorite foundation I have used in Green and Eco Beauty. It has 100% blown me away. There's a couple of cool things about Au Naturale with trying out their foundations. The first is that they do have cream foundation sample kits. Yay! So I was able to get the fair kit, and they provided me with the 3 fairest of the cream foundations. It allowed me to try out the formula and also find the right shade for me. So if you are unsure of which shade you are, I highly recommend getting one of those kits. It also came with a cream bronzer. It also came with a sample of a cream blush, which I'm wearing today. I really love their cream blush. It also came with a sample of their setting powder. When you purchase their like shade matching cream kit, they also give you a $10 off coupon, so that when you go ahead and purchase a foundation, you have already $10 to go towards that foundation. Au Naturale right now, I don't know how long it's going to last, but currently they have a promotion where if you purchase $50 worth of products, they will give you a free lipstick. When I purchased the foundation, I purchased a couple other things, and my order total went up to $50, and I was able to get one of their lipsticks. And I have the shade Cha Cha on today, which is a really, really awesome deal. And I wanted to let you know all this because also Black Friday is coming up, and I don't know for sure, but I have heard whisperings that there will be a sale at Au Naturale on Black Friday. So if you're all interested in this foundation, you could pick up one of their cream sample kits during the sale, or if you are fairly confident of what shade you'd be, you could just go ahead and purchase the foundation during Black Friday. But I guess overall what I'm saying is, as someone with oily skin, shockingly, I am in love with this foundation. It is the one I reach for every single day. And I've been so happy since I found it. I really have been happy with how it wears, how my skin looks, and it's not breaking me out. It's just been really, really awesome. And I think too, if you do have dry skin, that it is a more moisturizing foundation, so I think it would be good, but it's not the most moisturizing, so you probably still would need to go in with a moisturizer, something more heavy duty than the Osea Blemish Balm. But it really, really wears well throughout the day, provides a little bit extra hydration. I don't think you can go wrong with this foundation. So hopefully you found this video useful and maybe a little bit entertaining. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Also check out my Instagram. I'll have my handle down below. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirl. And if you have any further questions about this foundation, leave those in the comment section down below and I will do my best to answer you. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!